Hello guys, it's Kene once again. Right, today we shall be looking at a very important concept in Python programming, and that has to do with data structure. So in Python, we know that, of course, there are lessons that I have given on these containers, so to say, for holding values. So we've looked at the list and then we've looked at tuples and sets. Today we shall be having a look at dictionaries. So what's a dictionary in Python? Yeah, so a dictionary is a container. I think of it as a variable, but I would just use a container that holds values, right? A container that holds data in key value pairs. So it's not just the value, but the value is assigned a key. And then you have multiple key value pairs. So that's what you have as a dictionary. It could be a single key value pair or multiple key value pairs. So that's what a dictionary is in Python. Let's look at a sample, an example here. So I'm just going to share my screen with us. Right. So, guys, it's very easy to create a dictionary in Python. I would call this my dict. That stands for my dictionary as a variable name. And just have a pair of curly braces. It's as if you are creating a set, but it doesn't have the structure of a set in the sense that for Python, for dictionaries, there is a key for a value. So I'm just going to have this. A is the key for value 1, and B is the key for value 2. Now, I want us to take note of the colon. So to separate a key from its value, you need a colon. And then to separate two key value pairs, you need a comma. So I'll just add one more key value pair there. That's C as the key and the value is 3. So that's how you create a dictionary in Python. Now let's see, let's print this to the console and see what that gives us. My dict, right? And simply print that out. Yeah, so guys, I hope we can see that's a dictionary. Now, what are the features of a dictionary in Python, right? The first is that a dictionary contains ordered values. So the values in a dictionary are ordered. Okay, so one doesn't take the place of the other. So if I say call or use my dictionary the first time, and then I decide to use it the second time, it will still have those values in the order that they appeared the first time. That's the thing about the dictionary. So another thing about the dictionary is that the values do not have duplicates. So if I have, for example, the values this time, guys, what I mean by values, the keys actually. So this dictionary here, I see that there's a key, A. I can't create another key value pair that has A as a key. So that's what I mean by the values cannot be duplicated. It is actually the key for that value that we are interested in. So if I had A as a key and I gave the value of 4 for that, now you see that it already tells us that there's a problem. So there's this dark brown indicator here. So when I print this, I see that it simply just what? Discards. It discards this first key value pair. It retains just the last. In other words, there can be no duplicates, no duplicate keys in a dictionary. But you can have duplicate values provided that they have different keys. So I'm going to have, say, 2 as the key for this. I mean, as the value for that, and then make it have a key of D. So we see that 2 occurs twice as a value, right? But having different keys. So when we run that, we'll see, guys, that I have 2 with the key of B and 2 with the key of D. So that's acceptable. The keys cannot have duplicates, but the values themselves can be duplicated, provided that they have different keys. Okay, so that's that about the features of dictionaries. Now, the next thing we need to look at is, say, for example, I want to get the size of a dictionary. In other words, how many key value pairs are contained therein, right? So I have my dict as my dictionary there. I would simply use the len method. So for as many keys as we have in the dictionary, the len method will return that number. So I'm going to use len and print out the len of my dict. So that gives us 4, and you can see that that is true. A, B, C, D, making 4 items, 4 key value pairs. So that's how you get the size of a dictionary in Python. Right, guys. Now let's go to accessing the keys or the values in a dictionary, or even accessing both key and value in a dictionary. So it's quite easy to do that. First, I'm going to grab a value in my dictionary by referencing the key. So if I want to get 3, for example, as a value, I can use the key for 3, which is C. And with that, I can get 3. So I'll just get my dictionary, which is my dict. And in within square brackets, I will mention the key. And in this case, it is C. So the key for 3 is C. Then I'm going to print. We'll see that what gets printed is 3 because that is the value for key C. So we see that 3 is returned, right? So that's it. Now, guys, that is just the first way of grabbing a value from a dictionary. What if I wanted to do it in some other way? I can do that by using the get method. So there's a get method. There's a get method for Python dictionaries. Simply call the get method, and it takes an argument. That argument is the key of the value you want to grab. So enough of the talk. Let me just get on with it. So my dict, and this time, sorry guys, not my dict dot get. So that's a method there, and it takes an argument there, and the argument is C. That is the key for number 3 as a value. So that's that. So let me print this and see what that gives us. I'll print, and good enough. We've got 3. I can even store what is returned in a variable, then make use of the variable afterwards. So let me just call this deval, which stands for the value. So I will just say deval, and I print deval. I'll still get 3. So 3 is still returned. Yeah, so guys, those are the 2 ways of grabbing a value from a dictionary. Either I use the key in square brackets, or I use the get method and provide the key as the argument of the get method. Right. Now, guys, what if I want to get all the keys in the dictionary? So I don't need, this time I don't need the values. I just need the keys. How do I do that, right? So let's see. My dict, and instead of having get as a method, I'll use keys. So there's a keys method of the dictionary. And that's just it, right? It takes no argument there. It simply returns all the keys within the dictionary and it stores it in the val. So let's see what we have in the val, guys. So I run my program. So we see, guys, that a list of keys is created, A, B, C, D, and you agree with me that A, B, C, D are the keys within the dictionary. Now, what if it is the values that I wish to grab? I'll simply, instead of using the keys method, I'll use the values method, and that returns all the values within the dictionary. So let's see. So you see, guys, it returns a list of values, and the keys are not mentioned. So that's how you access either the keys of your dictionary or the values in the dictionary, right? Okay, now guys, what if I wish to have the key and the keys and the values like together? How do I do that? So instead of having values or keys as methods, I'll simply call the items method, right? And we'll see what that gives us. Yeah, so we see that it creates a tuple for each key value pair. So for key value pair A1, a tuple is created. And for B2, a tuple is created. For C3, that is key value pair C3, a tuple is created. So that's what you have for the items method. I hope you understand it, guys. Yeah, you might be wondering, so what's the use of all this? When you embark on implementing or building projects, then you see the need, for these different data types and data structures, right? And then how to manipulate them. Okay, so we continue, guys. The next thing now is to add. What if I wish to add a value to a pre-existing dictionary? How do I go about that? So right here, let me just change this to 4. Then I want to add E, just like this, guys. E with 5, to my dictionary. How do I achieve that, right? Simple. I'll simply get my dict, and in square brackets, what do I want to add? I want to add the E, right? And for E, I would give a value of 5, right? So after that, I'll call my dict and we'll see if that has been added. So we'll see, guys. Yeah, so we see that E as a key and 5 as a value have been added to the dictionary my dict. So that's how you add key value pairs to an pre-existing dictionary. Okay, right. So going forward, how about, guys, what if I wanted to have the key value, in one structure? How do I achieve that, right? I can use a method called the update method. So I will provide the key value pair as a dictionary, which will now be used to update that parent dictionary. So this is what I mean. I have my dict as a dictionary, and I'll get my dict, then use the update method. Then the update method will take a parameter, an argument there, which is a list containing key and value. So I want to have this time F, with a key, with a value of 6, you know, just like that. And let's run the program. Yeah, so we see that F6 has been added to that dictionary. So guys, remember 2 ways. It's either I'm just referencing, or it's either I'm providing a key, you know, in square brackets right after the name of the dictionary, and then set it to a value. I mean, yeah, assign a value to it, or I use the update method. And using the update method, I would create a dictionary containing 1 or more key value pairs. So I can even add more key value pairs. So I can call this G and make that 7, value of 7. I run, I still see that, you know, no error, everything is in order. Okay, so guys, that's it. Now, what if, right, I want to change, because I don't know if I mentioned it, the values in a dictionary are changeable. That's another feature of the dictionary. So we can change the value. So how do we do that? How do we change the values in a dictionary? Now, it's as simple as it gets, right? Just grab your dictionary and in square brackets, provide the key. So I want to change D as a string there, that's the key, and set it to a new value. So I'm going to set it to 10. So D should be 10. When I print my dict, we'll see what that gives us. So we see that D has a value of 10. So I hope you understand that, guys. That's how you change the value of a dictionary. Now, suppose that D does not exist as of this time, then it will be created. Do we understand? So let me use, say, Z. Now, Z doesn't, as of now, exist in the dictionary. So it's not going to change anything that is already there. Instead, it will create a new key value pair within the dictionary. So let's see what that gives us. We see here that Z as a key and 10 as a value are both added, to the dictionary. Okay, so that's that, guys. So we've looked at how to alter, how to update values in a dictionary, how to add to a dictionary, how to access the dictionary, values in a dictionary. I know. The next now is to look at ways of removing values in a dictionary. So I'm going to do that using, in 3 ways, so to say. The first here, guys, is to use the pop. Okay, so I'll use my dict and use the method called pop. Now, what does the pop do? The pop just removes the first item, that's the occurrence of that item, the first, within the dictionary. So if I provided a value of, so let me say this here is let me say this is E, and E has a value of 4. So I just need this, I need D popped, that is removed, okay? And then I print my dict. I see that, guys, look at it. It goes from C now to E. So D has been removed. That is it, because I popped it out. I popped the D. So when you try to remove a key value pair and you want to use the pop method, please, what you provide as the argument is the key of that value. So that is removed from the dictionary. Okay. Right. Now, guys, the next thing is to use the pop item method. What does the pop item method do? Before, in Python 3.6, dictionaries were not ordered. Like the items in a dictionary were not ordered. But yeah, I think beginning from Python 3.7, thereabouts, the values in a dictionary became ordered. So when you call the pop item method, it simply just removes the last, the last key value pair. Okay, so I'm just going to do pop item. It's as simple as that. Without mentioning any key, without mentioning any value, and we'll see what gets removed. Yeah, so we see that the last item is D4, but we started out with E4 as the last item, key value pair. So that's because the E4 is removed by this pop item method. So guys, please, let's take note of the difference between the pop and the pop item. The pop method simply removes the key value that is specified. So you specify the value to be removed by providing the key. That's for the pop method. But for the pop item method, you provide no argument. And what it's simply going to do is to remove the last key with its value within the dictionary. That's why this E4 was removed from the dictionary. So the last item has become D4. I hope you understand, guys. Right. And I can also remove a key and its value by simply using the del keyword. I'll use the del keyword, right? So how do I do that? Just call the del keyword. It's as simple as this, del. And in square brackets, not parentheses, in square brackets, provide the key of the value you want to remove. So del my dict. And when I print my dict, I see what is returned. So where is the A as where is A as a key with 1 as the value? Removed. So my dictionary now begins from B as the key and not A. So guys, 3 ways to remove something. Either we're using the pop method, or we're using the pop item method, or we're using the del keyword. Using the del keyword requires that you do what? You mention the key in square brackets, and that would remove that key with its value. Okay, right? And guys, what if I wanted to completely destroy the entire dictionary? That I don't want, I don't want the dictionary in existence any longer. So what do I do? Still using the del keyword, I'll just mention the dictionary, that is the name of that variable, which is the dictionary, and that will destroy the dictionary. So you see that this dictionary no longer exists at this point. So if I print, it will most likely return an error, raise an error rather. So my dict is not defined, but we can see that I defined my dict here at the beginning. But then again, you see that in the line that follows, on the line that follows, I destroyed that dictionary, and I tried to print it when it no longer exists. So that's why that raised an error there. Okay, so what if I wish that the dictionary is retained? I wish that it remains, but it should have no values. That is no key value pairs anymore. It should be empty. How do I achieve that? Now there's a method provided in Python to clear out all the values within the dictionary. That's the clear method. So simply get my dict and call the clear method. And that's all you need to do. So when I print my dict, I see that an empty dictionary is returned. I hope you understand this so far, guys. All right. So now let's look at looping through dictionaries. How do I get through the members of a dictionary? I'll use the for loop. So let's use the for loop here, guys. For I, or let me say for key, just make that double Y, in my dict. So I'm looping now, using a loop. For my dict in, for key in my dict. Now this key might be wondering, what is it for? That's the key for each of the values in the dictionary. So at every iteration, this variable here, key, assumes a value. That is the count of that particular value in the list. So the first iteration, key will be A. Second iteration, key will be, this key will be B, and on and on and on. So now let's see. I want to now grab the value based on the key. Remember how that is done. I would mention the name, the variable name for that dictionary, and in square brackets, mention the key, and that will give us the value. So my dict, in square brackets, key. So the value of key here is dynamic. As it runs through the loop, it keeps changing the value of key. Okay, so that done, I will simply print. I don't want to assign that to you. Okay, let me assign it to a variable. Let me just call it my var. All right, so now let's print my var. Please remember to indent your lines of code depending on the hierarchy. Okay, so when I print this, I see that the values are returned. Please, guys, the values are not the keys. Now, what if I wanted to just get only the keys? So I'll just make this KEYY, right? And let's see what that returns. Yeah, so this returns only the keys. So that's as simple as it gets. All right, so guys, what if I don't want to use this method now? I just want to grab only the keys. I want to grab the values, not by this method, that is mentioning the name of the dictionary and putting the key of each value in square brackets. I don't want to use this method. Some other method. Then I would use the values method. So I will loop through, instead of looping through the dictionary, I'll just loop through the values within the dictionary. So I'll call the values method my dict.values that way. And that is all. So this will just be my var. Let me just now call this my var, right? So I'll print my var. It's as simple as that. My var. So my var will be each of these values, 1, 2, 3. The values are not the keys. So you see, the values get printed. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and on and on. Now the same thing goes for the keys. If I wish to loop through the keys, I'll just change this and use the keys method. So my var becomes each of the keys, A, B, C, D, E. Let's see that if that is the case. Oh, sorry guys, this should be keys, not key. Right. So we see here that we have the keys printed out. Okay, now guys, what if, The last thing about using loops with dictionaries. What if I wanted to, in one loop statement, I wanted to get the key and the value at the same time in a tuple, right? I can now use items. Remember the items method to grab the key and the value as a tuple. All right. So that's just all items, guys, not items. That's all we need to do. So my var will now be a tuple containing the key and its value. So let's see. Right. So we see that my var at the first iteration returns A and 1 in a tuple. Second iteration returns B and 2 in a tuple. Third iteration returns C, that is this C here, and 3 in a tuple, and on and on and on. So remember, guys, if I wish to grab just the keys, I will use my dict.keys. I wish to grab just the values, my dict.values. And if I wish to grab both key and value in a tuple, then I'll use items. Now, it doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. I can actually separate them by doing one more thing here. Guys, one more thing. I can make this K for key and V for value. So the K will be this variable will be for keys and this variable will be for values, right? Then I can simply have this in my print parentheses there. The key is, well, let me say K. And right, I should concatenate there using this. And its value is, then concatenate again, that should be V, just like that, right? Okay, so what is this saying? Expected string got int instead. Oh, so guys, within the print, I need the string. So I'm just going to cast this, convert it explicitly to a string, just as easy as that. Okay, so now let's see here. The key is A, that is A, and its value is 1. Key is B, and its value is 2. So that's how I can actually separate the key from its value in case I want to use them separately, All right, so that's that, guys. Now, the last thing before I come to methods, although I've been using, dictionary methods even before this time, let's look at the copy method. What if I wish to create a copy of a dictionary such that the locations for the two are not the same? So the location in memory for the original dictionary is different from the location of the copy, right? So now let me say my copy. If I had my copy and simply just assigned it to, and assigned my dict to it, this isn't really another dictionary. It's just still referencing this my dict. Do you understand? So let's see, guys. Let me call this check and say my dict is my copy. My dict is my copy, and we'll see what that gives us. Oh, sorry, I need to print the check. Print check. To say that it is true. Why? Because this, my dict, is actually my copy. That's what it is. They are not different, the same location. It's one object. if I really want to have two objects, which may be equal in terms of the values that they contain, but actually two objects, then I need to use the copy method. So my copy would be my dict dot copy, right? Okay, now if I run the same thing, I see now that it is false because my dict is not the same object as my copy. They are now two different objects. That is why this returns false. My dict is not my copy, and that's why we have false. I hope that's understood, guys. Right. So with that, I have come to the end of this lesson talking about dictionary methods. We've used so many of them already. We've used copy. Of course, we can make use of them. We've used copy. We've used get. That is, just grab a value within a dictionary based on its key. So use the get, then use the keys. We've learned how to use the keys method, grab the keys in the dictionary. Then use values to grab the values within a dictionary. Okay, and use updates to add a dictionary to a dictionary. So that's the update or the update method, you know, and on and on and on and on. So I enjoin us to please go through this video again. Make sure you understand dictionaries because they are quite essential to the work you will be doing as a programmer, a coder, a software engineer, a software developer in future, right? Okay, guys. So thank you once again for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Yeah, in the next video, we will be taking a look at decision making. So we'll use the if else, nested if, you know, in the next video. All right. So thank you guys and have a wonderful day.